Hi, Gemini. This is Genevieve with Belladonna and Moonbeams. How are y'all doing? I'm doing really great. I really am. I just had a great reading. I really did. Because I'm a Taurus and I read the cards in order every week because I'm orderly. But, so I had a great reading. This is the weekly reading for May 17th through 23rd, 2021. And I'm just having a great day. So anyway, we're going to start out. This card represents you. This is the star. So you have really good luck, favorable omens, things coming together for you. And I think that's a really good card. In fact, your reading's pretty good too. Then next to that, we get the Four of Wands, which this card is all about a happy home, a happy life. So if you're not there, it's coming into being. I also think, though, one of the things you need to look at is, do you have a happy home and you don't recognize it? If you're not feeling that, I need you to just stop and think about it. And then next to that, we get the 10 of Cups. Turn it over. Now, this card is also about happiness and good relationships and things like that. Because it was reversed, I think you've been really overworked by this. Your family is overworking you. You've been putting them first instead of putting you first. And I'm not saying you should be selfish or narcissistic. I'm saying that you need to have balance in that. It's like a cup. If you empty it all out, it's empty. You have to refill it. So as you're taking care of them, you've also got to take care of you. Now we get the Knight of Cups. And this could literally mean about a new romance. But it could also mean that it's time for some spiritual enlightenment and emotional enlightenment for you, especially in fact if it's right under the star card. So I think that that's telling you that you need to love yourself more. In fact, I think that we should be our first loves. I should love me more than I love anyone else. Not in a narcissistic way. I'm not saying that. But you should put yourself first. Always and forever. Next to that, we get the Eight of Wands. And this card says there's a lot going on behind the scenes. There's a lot of things going on in your life. And you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, like just too much. And that doesn't mean that it's too much, but that's how you're feeling right now, especially with everything that's going on. And we also get the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is coming to the end of a project. It's going to be really good. You're going to have success in this. This project has success. It's even an upright card. So you've got all this success going on around you. But when I go back and I look at this card, I feel like you're not seeing it and that you're feeling overwhelmed by everything. So you need to stop and find your balance and learn to put yourself in a better position, not just putting everybody above you. Now, don't always put everybody below you either. You've got to have that balance. That's the whole kicker. It's finding balance. Sometimes I just stop and ask my pendulum for an answer. My daughter called me last night, and one of her neighbors had a problem, and I asked my pendulum. I actually asked 3 pendulums, and they all agreed with me because I wanted to be sure. So sometimes you just have to stop and ask, is this something I need to do? And sometimes you've done something for someone before in the past, and they want you to do it again, and you're like, well, I've done it before, so I set that precedent. But that doesn't mean you have to do it again. Is it serving you? Is it even serving them? Yeah. Sometimes you enable people. Now, I'm opened a new Oracle deck the other day online, the Power Animal Oracle deck. And I really like it, but what I'm finding is like when I pull a card, it doesn't give me the depth that reading the book does. So I'm actually going to read to y'all tonight. I know it's not a bedtime story either. So the card I get for y'all is the Lynx. See? And it says Discernment. Now let's look at the book. Because it says discernment, look beyond immediate appearances. Well, I mean, I can tell you that. But when I read you from this book, you're going to see what I'm talking about. That it's just so much richer by doing it this way. You're missing something by focusing on the outer appearance of the situation or person. That's the object of your inquiry. Instead, you soft focus with your vision or hearing. And at the same time, pay attention to any physical or intuitive cues that imply what else is going on beside the apparent and the obvious. As I say, there's more to the story than meets the eye. In this case, the truth is what's behind the story. One way to develop this skill is to get away from the noise of your usual surroundings, somewhere out in nature, and get very, very still for several minutes. First, notice the feeling and the sound of your breathing and your heartbeat. Then be aware of the rhythms around you. Take note of what you see, hear, or feel, without judgment or analysis. Just observe. Doing this regularly will sharpen your senses such that you'll be more apt to discern the deeper truths of any situation or person. So as you can see, it's so much more in depth that's the reason that I'm doing this. Just for this week. I don't know that I'll ever do it again, but it's kind of fun. Namaste, y'all. If you want to do a private reading, send me a text to 405-512-9400. And of course, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bye.